Now I will tell you the story of a girl named Poppy. She was found by a teacher named Lois on her doorstep and adopted her. But over time, Lois realized that Poppy was no ordinary girl. This is a very remarkable story, and now I will tell it to you. The story of the girl named Poppy began when she was found by a teacher named Lois on her doorstep. Seeing the defenseless girl, Lois decided to adopt her and give her a home. But over time, Lois realized that Poppy was no ordinary girl. It turned out that Poppy was not a normal girl, but a monster doll created to scare people. She was unique because she didn't age and maintained her appearance unchanged. Despite this, Poppy went to school, but she had no friends. All her classmates considered her strange and foolish, and they avoided interacting with her. One day, a group of malicious children, led by Brett, locked Poppy in the bathroom for several hours. Lois tried to help Poppy and attempted to persuade the bullies to make amends, but they only pretended that everything was fine. However, strange disappearances began to occur soon after. One by one, the bullies who tormented Poppy and other children who mistreated her vanished. People organized searches, but all efforts proved futile. Lois couldn't believe that her adopted daughter could be involved in these disappearances, but one day she found an item belonging to one of the missing children in Poppy's room. The next day, Poppy was the only one who showed up for class, as children and their parents were afraid of the mystical disappearances. When Poppy returned home, Lois decided to tell her about finding the missing child's item. Unexpectedly, Poppy admitted that they had encountered the missing children and exchanged belongings. Astonished by this confession, Lois believed her. At night, Lois couldn't sleep and decided to check Poppy's room. To her horror, she discovered that Poppy had disappeared and was no longer in the house. The next morning, news broke about the disappearance of the last of Poppy's tormentors, Brett. The only thing that was found was his sneakers left on the shore of a small lake. She wasn't afraid of Poppy, and Lois didn't want to lose a daughter she never had. However, over time, investigators learned about Poppy's involvement in the disappearances of people, but they didn't find a single trace of the doll girl's presence in Lois's house. Now I will tell you about a monster that you all know, and his name is Huggy Wuggy. One day, he accidentally ended up in the Avatar world. Huggy Wuggy loved scaring the local inhabitants, but one day, everything changed. It's a very interesting story, and now I will tell it to you. Once upon a time, Huggy Wuggy, a renowned monster, was banished from his native world and found himself transported to the Avatar world. In this incident, he realized that his appearance had changed, and he now resembled a human, but inside he still retained his monstrosity. Huggy Wuggy always derived immense pleasure from scaring the local inhabitants, especially children. As soon as they noticed him, people would scream and run away in fear, which brought him great delight. One fine day, Huggy Wuggy decided to venture out onto the streets of the Avatar world to relish in the fear of passers-by. He was confident that his presence would once again cause panic and chaos. To his surprise, he noticed a group of children playing nearby. Huggy Wuggy dashed towards them and let out a loud scream. As usual, all the children scattered, except for one boy who remained seated on the ground, not understanding what was happening. This boy had poor eyesight, but managed to make out Huggy Wuggy and expressed gratitude towards him. It turned out that the children whom Huggy Wuggy had scared away before had been bullying this boy. Although Huggy Wuggy claimed to hate helping people and refused any gratitude, he felt a strange sense of pleasantness inside. He couldn't understand what was happening to him. The next day, Huggy Wuggy decided to follow the boy to learn more about his life. He witnessed the boy being bullied again and suddenly felt compelled to protect him. He rushed forward and declared that this child was under his protection, and anyone who wished him harm would have to deal with Huggy Wuggy. And so, the monster named Huggy Wuggy found himself a friend named Michael. From that moment on, Huggy Wuggy began to do only good deeds. As they brought him more pleasure than scaring people and committing misdeeds, he felt that he had become a necessary and useful member of society. From then on, Huggy Wuggy used his strength and monstrosity to defend the weak and help those in need. Thus, Huggy Wuggy, going through changes and meeting Michael, became a genuinely helpful and kind being. He utilized his unique abilities to protect Michael and others who needed assistance. Now I will tell you the story of a teacher named Miss Delight. She travels through worlds to feed on the fear of children, and this time she ended up in Avatar world. It's a very unusual story, and now I will tell it to you. Miss Delight, a teacher with unusual abilities, went to the Avatar world school to start a new job. The school principal was impressed by her enthusiasm and love for children, and accepted her without hesitation. Miss Delight's first day went smoothly, and all the children were thrilled with her. They received good grades from her, and each of them felt they had found a true friend and mentor. However, something strange happened the next day. During class, a janitor accidentally fell, causing Miss Delight to laugh. But what surprised the children was that her laughter turned into anger, and she started shouting at the poor janitor. Some of the children noticed that her eyes turned red, which alarmed them. The next day, Miss Delight brought a rabbit to the class to diversify the lessons. At first, everyone was happy to see the cute, fluffy animal, but suddenly the teacher announced that they had to conduct experiments on the rabbit. This shocked and saddened the children. One of the boys decided not to allow this and took the rabbit away from Miss Delight. He said he disagreed disagreed with her methods and wouldn't let the animal suffer. In a fit of rage, Miss Delight expelled the boy from the class. But the other children sided with him. They believed that their teacher had gone too far and forgotten her responsibilities. Together with the boy she expelled, they decided to confront her and find out what was really going on. The children began to investigate and learn more about Miss Delight. They sneaked into her office and found strange notes and blueprints there. It turned out that Miss Delight was a robot created to harness the energy of children's fear. Her task was to travel to different worlds and feed on the fear of children. One of the boys in the group, Max, had programming skills and computer knowledge. He suggested using his skills to hack into the robot's control system and shut it down, and everyone agreed and was ready to help. Max needed some time and concentration to figure out the complex system of wires and components. However, thanks to his programming knowledge, he found the secret shutdown button for the robot. At that moment, all the other children in the class felt that something had happened. Miss Delight stopped moving and speaking, and the children felt relieved. Max left the office and reported his success. Thus, the children saved themselves and other children through their bravery and observance. The whole town learned about this incident, but no one understood how this intelligent robot ended up in Avatar World. Now I will tell you a story about an unusual character called Daddy Longlegs. One day he entered the Avatar world with the intention of capturing the entire population. This is one of my scariest stories, and now I will tell it to you. In the Avatar world, there lived the Thompson family. They were happy and spent cozy time together until the day that turned their lives upside down. On the day when the mother and children returned home, they discovered that their father looked and behaved differently. Daddy Longlegs, known for his ability to change people's appearances, infiltrated the Thompson family's life. He replaced the real father, assuming his appearance, and began behaving strangely. He was distant, cold, and did things that raised suspicions in the mother and children. The mother, feeling that something was off, started paying attention to small details. She noticed that the father avoided close contact and tried to hide his eyes. The children, though young, also sensed that something was wrong with their father. They noticed that he didn't remember some important moments from their past and behaved illogically. The family decided to expose the strange father and uncover his true identity. They decided to conduct their own investigation. One night, when the fake father was occupied in the living room, they boldly went up to the attic to find answers. In the attic, they discovered the real father, bound and locked in a corner. He was weak and frightened. They were shocked and decided to chase the intruder away together. But when they went downstairs, they couldn't find Daddy Longlegs, and he never appeared again. And so, the next character whose story I'm going to tell you today will be Mommy Longlegs. Yes, that's right, she's from the Poppy Playtime universe. One day, walking through the forest at night, she met a girl who got lost. The girl was very scared because she did not know where her parents were. Mommy Longlegs didn't want to leave her here alone. She offered to go with her to eat ice cream. The girl was very surprised because the ice cream parlor closed many years ago. But still, she agreed to go. When Mommy Longlegs and a girl named Katie came to the cafe, Katie was shocked. It turned out that this cafe didn't actually close. Instead, the most popular people in Avatar World were having parties here. Katie was very glad that she met her favorite characters from Avatar World in this cafe. She ate ice cream with Mommy Longlegs and them, and then returned home. Katie told her parents about it. At first, they were angry because Katie came home late, but after that, they were glad that the girl met with celebrities and returned home.